Hello and welcome to Citi Sports Roundup with me, Nathan Kwao. Coming up, Mohamed Kudus names Virgil van Dijk as the toughest opponent he's ever played against. Also, Chelsea manager Frank Lampard believes the Blues can overturn first leg deficit against Real Madrid at Stamford Bridge. And Olympiacos terminates contract of James Rodriguez with immediate effect. Let's get to the details of our stories now. And we begin with the Black Queens and its management committee chairperson Habiba Ataforsin has backed head coach Nora Hoptel to qualify Ghana to the next edition of the Africa Women's Cup of Nations in Morocco next year. Hoptel has guided the team to 3 wins in their international friendlies against Benin and back-to-back games against the Teranga Lionesses of Senegal. Speaking to Citi Sports ahead of the crucial assignments in the WAFU Cup of Nations qualifiers and the Africa Women's Cup of Nations qualifiers, Madame Habiba Ataforsin expressed confidence that the team would qualify for the AFCON after missing out on the last edition in Morocco.
The first match, they played very well. I'm not impressed about the second match, but all the same, they did their best. I wouldn't let you land. She is in the right direction, and I know something good is going to come out of her. Yes, this is just the beginning. Something good is going to happen. I know she's going to do her best to let us qualify for the Morocco next year. I know she's going to do it. She will do it, and it's going to happen.
Meanwhile, the vice chairman of the management committee, Kingsley Osei-Bonsu, revealed that management was ready to provide the necessary assistance to Nora Hoptel in her quest to assemble a formidable squad ahead of the upcoming assignments.
Yeah, I think she's doing well. There's been a change positively as far as the winning mentality is concerned. The girls are seriously attending to her words, and I think the sky is the limit. Given the needed opportunity, I think we will be going places. I think we've been in constant touch, and the decision is that any FIFA window, there will be a friendly match for the Black Queens. And you see, if you compare previously, we were not inviting the foreign-based players, but this time it has been a decision that they should always be included so that there will be the needed cohesion and achievement of positive results. I think with particular reference to building a formidable squad, the most important thing is for the players to stay focused and be disciplined. And that's exactly what is trying to impact in them. And I believe with the needed guidance, we are definitely going to achieve that objective.
Board member for Accra Hearts of Oak, Frank Nelson Nwokolo, has remained tight-lipped on the return of former Japanese coach Kenichi Yatsuhashi following the departure of Serbian tactician Slavko Matic. The Serbian's departure has left the Phobians without a substantive head coach, with assistant David Oklu assigned to take charge till the end of the 2022-23 season. Speaking to Citi Sports in an exclusive interview, Frank Nelson believes the focus on the part of management is to provide support to Oklu in the club's bid to finish the season on a high.
Even if it's not been discussed in a place that, in a situation where there's always vacancy, you always assume that the people will come out with their own solutions and every other thing. But we in the board of Accra Suffolk, as board of members of Accra Suffolk, we are focused. We might not have our meetings as think, but we still get in touch and we speak with each other. We know what we want for the club. I don't think anybody will say that Kenichi is coming to Accra Suffolk. I will just smile where I'm sitting, and it is not that it is impossible in life, because you never say impossible in life. But for now, we have seen Lampard going back to Chelsea, and somebody would have said it's not going to happen. But today we see Lampard leading Chelsea. But that does not negate the fact that Accra Suffolk, the door is closed for Kenichi. I don't think anybody will say Kenichi is coming to Accra. The way we parted was not the best of it, and then nobody wants to repeat a situation like that. Yes, that is Kenichi of those, but we don't know Kenichi of today. So what will be the yardstick of we going back to Kenichi and saying because he's coaching Dortmund, or he's coaching Enyimba, or he's coaching Rangers, or he's coaching TB Mazembe, or he's coaching El Ali and all this. So something must motivate you, something must push you. So I don't think that is something that is in that consideration. But like I said, this is where there's vacancy. I mean, there will be rumor mongers and every other people will wake up, and especially in today of social media where people can get up and just tweet anything or just write anything and it start flying. So it can trend, but I can tell you that I don't think anybody has discussed this with me, and I don't think my colleagues are equally putting such. If you talk about like Kingston, people might have like Kingston was an ex-player of Accra, so folk. Everybody knows he's a legend in Ghana, and he's played football. He's doing very well. I mean, with right to dreams and every other thing. I've not seen anything. Nobody has asked me about Laie Kingston that is coming up to hold up a position. So all I just have to say is let's just see what happens. Let's get to the season and see where the season will take us to. David Okuluna, for me, I think all we need is to continue patting his back, give him the support, making the players to get what to understand discipline, teamwork. If they have the teamwork, everybody understands, and the philosophy is trying to introduce the team. I think what he's doing now, we have few players that are good that will help us. People like Caleb Amankwa, Linda, and all of them. So they are there who understands what it means to chase a title, and they've been with the coach as an assistant coach. Now he's the acting head coach. I think they will give him all the support. So
we stay with local football, and communications director of King Faisal Football Club, Awal Mohammed, has conveyed his enthusiasm at the team's prospect of winning this season's MTN FA Cup. The Kumasi-based club has been pitted against Insatraman FC in the semi-finals of the competition, while Dreams FC and Sky FC are the other two semi-finalists. In an interview with Citi Sports, Awal Mohammed shared that the club found it exciting to have progressed further than the previous season.
It has been an exciting journey for us so far in the MTN FA Cup. You know, last season we got to the quarterfinal. We played against the Vienna Stars in Doma, and they defeated us 3-2. So this season, the target was to go far. I mean, get to at least the semi-final stage of the MTN FA Cup. And so far, I think the team has been able to reach the target by defeating the same team that eliminated us last season, the Vienna Stars. I mean, it wasn't an easy game. You look at the quality of the Vienna Stars in terms of the players they have. I mean, the team they have, they are on top of the Ghana Premier League table. So playing against the Vienna was very, very difficult. So beating them to get to the semi-final stage of the MTN FA Cup, I must say that it has been an exciting journey so far.
We stay with King Faisal, but this time let's talk about their run in the Bet Power Premier League, because they are 4 points above the relegation zone with 9 games to end the campaign. Awal Mohammed has also been speaking about plans to secure the club's Premier League status in the Ghanaian top flight.
Our position on the league is not safe for now. And in fact, this weekend in our game against Dreams FC, for us as a club, we've taken it as the last league game of the season. We know that a win against Dreams FC will push us, to move top on the league table. So we've put all our preparations on the game against Dreams FC. I must admit that facing Dreams will be a very difficult game. But then, just as I've already said, we've taken it as the last game of our season. A win will push us up. Anything apart from win will, deepen our woes in terms of fighting for relegation. So our boys are prepared. We've put the win against the Vienna Stars aside. The focus now is on the Dreams game. The team is well motivated. The boys are preparing very, very well. And I believe very well that our consistent form or results in the league so far will continue against Dreams FC.
You're watching Citi Sports Roundup on Citi TV with me, Nathan Kwao. When we return, we'll bring you some more stories. Welcome back. This is the Citi Sports Roundup on Citi TV. My name is Nathan Kwao. Let's do some more stories now. In Ghana, in Ajax star Mohamed Kudus has named Liverpool's Virgil van Dijk as one of the toughest opponents he's faced in his career. The two players faced each other when they met in the UEFA Champions League group stage this season, where Kudus found the back of the net in their 2-1 loss to Liverpool at Anfield. Kudus made these statements on the latest episode of Ajax TV series named Ask the Pro.
I think Van Dijk.
Yeah?
Yeah, I would say when we played Liverpool, home and away, I think it's strong, fast. Yeah, strong in duels, top class defender, and I was playing as a striker, and yeah, I think that's one of the toughest opponents I've played.
But still, you scored at Anfield.
Yeah, but still tough for me, Yeah.
Black Stars goalkeeper Richard Ofori has been speaking about the injury he suffered just before the 2022 World Cup in Qatar. Ofori had initially been named in then head coach Otuado's 55-man provisional squad for the competition and was expected to make the final list for the tournament. However, he was omitted from the group after aggravating a knee injury he picked up in the MTN 8 final that Orlando Pirates won 1-0 against Amazulu. The 29-year-old was speaking in an interview with SuperSport.
No, I think I had a collision with Amazulu player.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
Wow.
earlier, I think I didn't feel anything. So I felt it in the second half. I think maybe the blood was still working, so I couldn't feel it. So second half, I just made a run for a ball, and then I felt like my knee wasn't stable. So since then, so I went out, and then I had a treatment, and then I managed to play the final. That moment, I wasn't thinking about Qatar because first you need to perform in your club first before you can have power to go to the national team, because most of the time, when you are not doing well in your club, when you go to the national team, it affects you as well. So at the moment, I wasn't thinking. I was just thinking about how to get better. Am I good? But where it hit me is the final day. They were calling me. They sent me my stuff and everything, my ID, my visas and everything. And
to go to Qatar?
To go to Qatar. And then I received it, and I was looking at it like this, and then I'm checking, and I said, no, I'm not ready. So they called me again, and they said, are you sure? The coach is about to announce his final list. Are you sure you can't make it? I was just sitting down there and then checking my knee, and then looking at myself. I said, no, they should good. So I wish them luck.
Let's head to Europe now, and Chelsea manager Frank Lampard believes the Blues can produce a special night and overturn a 2-0 deficit against Real Madrid in order to advance to the semi-finals of the UEFA Champions League. His players, however, will have to do something they have not done in 4 games if they are to progress against the holders, which is to score a goal. Chelsea suffered a second straight loss under interim boss Lampard after finishing with 10 men following Ben Chilwell's straight red card for a foul on Rodrigo in the first leg of their Champions League quarter-final on Wednesday. It means Chelsea must score at least twice at Stamford Bridge in next Tuesday's return leg.
I think both. I think it's a big challenge, of course. Team of the quality of Real Madrid, but the door is open. It's up to us whether we want to kick it open further next week or not. That's my immediate thought. I think there's a mixed emotion about the game. I think for the period of 11 men, we were in the game and we had some chances, and I think we can do better. And I think I've been here a short time, and there are definitely things I think that we can utilise our strengths better, especially with the system of the wing backs. We can be more urgent in giving a problem with that. So those are things for myself and the staff and the players to work on, because I could see opportunity there tonight in ways that we didn't quite take. Spirit at the end of the game, great. 10 men here for half an hour, you understand that a lot of things could happen in that, and I don't think we gave them lots and lots of great chances. So I like that part of it, and we have to believe. I need to be the first one that believes that this is possible.
Be another special night?
Absolutely. If you don't believe in top level sport, I don't think things will go your way. That's a percentage of the game, is a mindset and a belief. And the fans will come and support us. You know, we're realists. We're 2-0 down against Real Madrid. That's fact now. That's done. But I've been involved, as you say, in games that change. We're in a different place now, and maybe that's a good thing, because we're in a place where we want to prove some things wrong, to change the tone, to change the story. And, we went tonight with 10 men against Real Madrid. It's a difficult night for the lads. So I see that they're disappointed in the end, but I also saw that they gave everything in that final part of the game. But it'll be different next week. And, we're not favourites. We were not favourites yesterday, and we're not favourites today. That's football. And the possibilities are ours if we can take them.
Meanwhile, Real Madrid boss Carlo Ancelotti says the tie is not over yet, despite going into the second leg at Stamford Bridge with an advantage.
From us? No, because don't forget that Chelsea is a good team, is a good player, and we won 2-0. We took advantage from this game. It's not done yet. We have to fight and sacrifice at Stamford Bridge. This is absolutely normal. It's a quarter-final of the Champions League. And so we are satisfied for the game, because I think it was a good game, and focus on the next one. But also I think that when we played with 10 men, they put a low block. It was not easy to find solution, and I think we spent in the game a lot of energy to try to press high, and so at the end we were not so fresh to try to be able to find a solution. I think the result was good, and also the performance. No, I know football really well. My player understand that we have other 90 minutes to play, and it will be difficult, and we have to be ready. Frank Lampard, Ashley Cole, I think I have a good memory of them. Fantastic player, and I hope for them they will be fantastic managers.
But not necessarily in these
Not necessarily on Tuesday.
Staying with this story, and former Arsenal player Kevin Campbell believes Chelsea showed enough creativity going forward against Real Madrid on Wednesday night to give themselves a good chance of overturning the tie next week in London.
But what Frank Lampard and the Chelsea squad have to do, they have to look at the chances they created. I mean, João Felix had a couple, Sterling had one that was brilliantly saved by Courtois. You've got to get that first goal at Stamford Bridge, get the fans involved, and then you make life a little bit more difficult for Real Madrid. That's the key. If Madrid score first, then it's going to be a mountain to climb. But it can be done. And we've seen Real Madrid win this tournament so many times, but they are not the same team at this moment. The Madrid of last season would have probably won this game 3 or 4. But 2-0, I think Chelsea do have a slight chance.
Did you not get a sense, though, watching last night, that Real had another gear or two to go to?
Yeah. Listen, we do know there are gears, that's for sure. They're still relying on Kroos and Modric in that midfield, who are, they're effervescent, aren't they? They're
combined age of 207, and they're still brilliant.
And they're still running the game.
Yeah,
it's incredible. But what Chelsea have to do, they have to get a goal. They have to get a goal from somewhere, and it's not through the want of trying, but that's the only thing that's going to help Chelsea get past this Real Madrid side. They've got to score first.
This is the Citi Sports Roundup on Citi TV with me, Nathan Kwao. We'll take a break here. When we return, we'll bring you some more foreign stories. Thank you for staying with us on the Citi Sports Roundup. My name is Nathan Kwao. Let's get into some more foreign stories now. And Premier League clubs have collectively agreed to withdraw gambling sponsorship from the front of their matchday shirts by the end of the 2025-2026 Premier League season. The announcement follows a consultation involving the league, its clubs, and the Department for Culture, Media and Sport as part of the government's ongoing review of current gambling legislation. 8 top-flight clubs have gambling companies on the front of their shirts worth an estimated £60 million a year, and the clubs will be allowed to secure new shirt-front deals before the deadline. The decision will see the Premier League become the first sports league in the UK to take such a measure voluntarily in order to reduce gambling advertising. We stay in England, and Arsenal legend Ian Wright believes his former team can go on to win this season's Premier League title. Following their late draw against Liverpool last Sunday, the Gunners are now just 6 points ahead of defending champions Manchester City, who also have a game in hand. In an interview with Sky Sports, Wright expressed confidence that Arteta's men would overcome Manchester City to secure their first league title in 19 years.
Yeah, I do believe they can go all the way. I have to believe that, because there's no way I'm going to stand here and watch them go through a season where they've been absolutely magnificent up to this point and say anything that's going to be negative, whether I believe it or not. The fact is, I believe we can do it. It's in our hands. Manchester City are a formidable opponent. Obviously, we've seen what they're capable of doing and what they have done. We've got a young team that are learning on a regular basis. how to deal with the pressures they're dealing with. They've done it up to this point all season. You know, there's not many games I can look back at with our team and say, oh, that was a game they didn't perform. They've done it in every game they've performed. And what they're doing now is unbelievable. At the start of the season, of course, 4th place was the goal, but we've been there so long now. Why should you not try and go for it? You know, the main thing is that everybody's giving everything they can to try and do it, and that's what I'm seeing from us on a weekly basis. So of course, I'm confident that we can see it through.
We stay in England, and Everton manager Sean Dyche says his players must put up a better performance against Fulham on Saturday to move away from the relegation zone. The Toffees, following their defeat to Manchester United last weekend, are 17th on the league log, level on points with Nottingham Forest. Dyche believes the team must feed on the atmosphere at Goodison Park to give themselves a good chance of winning the all-important game.
The biggest thing I believe in with it, and I think I might have said this before, but I certainly have in-house, is that, you take a lucky one. I've said it before. You take a lucky one. You take one where a fixture might go your way. A fixture outside of your one, or 2 or 3 can sometimes go your way. But at the end of the day, you want to do it by design. We're trying to build something here that can be down to us. What we're doing, what we're playing like, what we're achieving. That's the main focus. And I think I definitely said before, Woney has a good saying. There has to be a future in it. And as much as you will take a lucky one, or you take one when it's not your day, but you still win, or you get a point and all that. Of course, you take them over a season. They're still important. But you want to see a performance. You want to see a team that are performing it. Well, we'll see. It certainly, we want it to be important because we want to build that mentality at home, that fortress throughout the fans and the way they go about it. And they have been doing. They've been excellent. I mean, I couldn't question it at home or away, but I couldn't question them. And I think the team have somewhat responded, at home and some of the away performances, like I say, stepped off a little bit last week. But generally the team have responded and given the fans something to cheer about as well, because, it's not just a one-way street this. The players have to use their energy, but then give the energy to the fans. And I think that's been a good balance so far. But you can't just guarantee the home. We want to change the mentality away. It's been well documented before my time in the last couple of seasons. The away form has not been where everyone wants it to be, including myself. So looking at different ways of taking that on, because over a Premier League season, if you're building a real mentality, then you should be going away with the same kind of home mentality, apart from your fans, of course, but the on-pitch mentality to take everything that comes your way and take it on. And I think that's a mindset change that we've been working with the players on.
We go to Greece now, and Greek club Olympiacos has terminated the contract of James Rodriguez with immediate effect. The Colombian midfielder joined the club in September 2022 and played 24 times, scoring 5 and registering 6 assists. The 31-year-old leaves Olympiacos with the club currently taking part in the Greek Super League playoffs. Rodriguez is now a free agent seeking a new club for the 4th time in just 3 years. We end with some boxing, and Public Relations Director of Premier Boxing Champions, Kenneth Buhari, is blaming the Ghana Boxing Authority for the challenges affecting the sport in the country. In recent times, high-profile Ghanaian boxers have missed out on wins in big fights, with Richard Comey and Isaac Dogbe losing in the light welterweight and featherweight divisions, respectively. Buhari was speaking in an exclusive interview with Citi Sports, and he also spoke extensively on boxing development in Ghana.
We lack trainers and teachers to properly develop the fighters. We suffer from bad equipment or equipment that's really not usable in our gyms for our fighters to train. Our amateur program is in shambles and receives little support from our government and other people. But the reality is that fish rots from the head down. I strongly believe that. And the biggest issue with boxing in Ghana is the lack of leadership and a lack of a plan to push the sport forward. And that falls squarely on the Ghana Boxing Authority, the GBA, and the Ghana Amateur Boxing Federation. I think in the case of the Ghana Amateur Federation, a lot of that has to do with the support that they're getting and a lack of oversight, I believe, too. We can expand on that, but the bulk of the major issues in Ghana boxing fall squarely on the shoulders of the Ghana Boxing Authority. I think that with the GBA, we've had a long line of of regime issues with certain regimes, but this current one may be the worst of them all. And I know that people from the outside have gently tried to steer them in the right direction or offer advice or whatever they can do, and they've been met with such pushback that I think that this must be said. You know, other than securing funding and sponsorships, for what I don't know, because the terms of these things are about as transparent as a concrete wall. Other than doing that, they've done nothing to push the sport forward. You have a president of the GBA who has managed to draw the ire of many in the sport because he's abrasive and he has a very self-serving style of leadership.
And that's all for today's edition of Citi Sports Roundup here on Citi TV. For more sports stories, log on to citisportsonline.com. My name is Nathan Cowan. Many thanks for watching.